Okay, so Irene, first question. What language do you speak at home? Bahasa Melayu or English?
Bahasa Melayu.
Bahasa Melayu. Okay, which language do you use the most with your family? Bahasa Melayu or English? You speak with your family using English or Malay?
Bahasa Melayu.
Bahasa Melayu. How many languages do you know? One. Bahasa Melayu. Okay. Did you learn English and your first language at the same time, or did you learn English later? Means that you learn English first or BM first? BM first. Can you read these words? Do they sound the same? Okay, read this. Sheep.
Pen.
Pen. Are they all the same?
Sama.
They are the same. Alright, moving on to the second last question. Do you like learn English? What is fun or hard about it? Do you like English?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Because it is fun. Because it is fun. Okay, last one. What helps you learn English best? How do you learn English? With games or songs or what? Songs. Okay, what is your favorite song?
Favorite song.
Yeah.
My Heart Will Go On.
My Heart Will Go On. Very good taste. Okay, so I think that's all from us. Thank you, Irene.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings to Madam Vani. So today I will be presenting about my case study regarding a 12 years old boy about his language in learning English as the second language. Alright, so let me begin by introducing the subject of this case, which is Child A, a 12 years old boy currently in Standard 6 studying at an urban school in Penang. He is raised in a bilingual environment. He is growing up in bilingual context where Malay is the home language while English is learned formally in school. No learning disabilities are present, which means his language learning process is not affected by cognitive or developmental issues. What stands out is his strong interest in learning English, particularly through music, which plays a significant role in his engagement with the language. Together, these points provide a clear profile of Child A and set the stage for exploring his bilingual learning journey. Alright, moving on to the next slide. In terms of language order, Child A is a sequential bilingual. He acquired Malay first before being introduced to English in a school setting. Since English is mostly used in the classroom, he lacks natural daily exposure to the English outside the school. Alright, as a result, there is noticeable interference from Malay, especially in pronunciation and sentence structure, which is common issue among bilingual learners. His family, teachers and peers all influence how much English he hears and uses, shaping the quality and consistency of the language input itself. This development context helped me to understand the foundation of his bilingual experience and the factors affecting his English acquisition. Moving on to the next slide. Alright, so despite regular English lessons, his language skills remain moderate, indicating that classroom exposure alone is not enough. He struggles to distinguish between similar sounding English words such as pen and pants, sheep and sheep, which affects his listening and speaking accuracy. His vocabulary is basic and he tends to use simple sentence structures which limits his ability to express more complex ideas. Over time, these repeated errors risk becoming fossil, means that he may become permanent if not corrected through proper intervention, since he just can build some simple sentence as I mentioned before. So these challenges show that while he is motivated, there are clear obstacles in his language development that need to be addressed strategically. Alright, so moving on to the next slide, which is about the Krashen's theory input hypothesis, which is the leverage of English input for the child. According to Krashen's input hypothesis, explains that language acquisition improves when learners receive frequent, understandable input. In this case, Child A limited real-life exposure, showing his learning abilities. And then affective filter hypothesis. However, his enjoyment of English songs support Christian's affective filter hypothesis. That goes, his motivation lowers anxiety, creating a more effective learning environment, since he said that he loved to learn English through songs. He even mentioned that he loved the song My Heart Will Go On. When I asked him what is his favorite song, he said My Heart Will Go On, means that he knows things. Okay. So through music, he repeatedly hears words and sounds, which helps develop his vocabulary and pronunciation naturally. This kind of engaging inputs also builds his confidence and makes him more comfortable using English in class. Alright, so Christian's theories help explain both the barriers and opportunities in Child A's learning experience. Moving on to the next slides, which is I'll be explaining about Swain's output and interference. Okay. Needs more chance to speak English means that it emphasizes that learners need to actively produce language. Alright, so Child A doesn't get enough chance to speak English outside of the class. This made me more difficult by interference from his first language, where certain English sounds are hard to distinguish because they don't exist in Malay. This is especially evident to his confusion with minimal pairs, where subtle differences in pronunciation carry important meaning. To address this, he needs to focus pronunciation practice and explicit teaching of sound differences beyond just passive listening. Together, these issues highlight the need for more speaking opportunities and guided output activities to support his development. Alright, moving on to the next slide, which is about the Vygotsky ZPD, Zone of Proximal Development, particularly about the scaffolding. Vygotsky Zone of Proximal Development tells us that Child A can perform better when given the right amount of guidance and support. Activities involving music fall within this optimal learning zone make they engage better and familiar, also challenging enough to promote their personal growth, especially about the language journey itself. Alright, so positive attitude support growth means that his enjoyment of such tasks reflect a positive attitude that fuels his willingness to keep trying even when tasks are difficult. This shows that fun and interactive activities don't just entertain, they create meaningful learning experiences that help him move forward. Scaffolding through enjoyable tasks like music provides an enjoyable bridge between what can he do and what he is capable of achieving. Alright, so moving on to the next slide, which is about the critical period hypothesis. Still with the ideal ideal age for learning languages, means that according to the critical period hypothesis, Child A is still within the optimal age for acquiring languages more naturally. He needs immediate support before puberty. However, as he nears the puberty itself, this window is closing, so it's more important to act now with intensive and meaningful purpose. He still can develop fluency with guidance, with the right strategies like immersion, interaction, and also creative tasks. He still has the potential to become more fluent. Delay may lead to reliance on memorization. If this opportunity is missed, he may rely more on rote learning, which is less effective than harder to maintain. Moving on to the next slide, the discussion and insights in my study case. For the first one, language learning is emotional and cognitive. What does it mean by saying this is that Child A's learning is not just academic. It involves emotion, motivation, and mental processing that influence how well he learns. Moving on to the second point, theories explain Child A's strengths and struggles, which just like I mentioned before, the combination of Krashen's and Swain's and Vygotsky's frameworks gives us insight into both his challenges and how can we help them. His love for music is more than a hobby. It's a motivational tool to support his vocabulary, pronunciation, and also engagement since he loves to learn English through song. The key takeaway is that teaching should be personalized to meet his learning style, interest, and language environment. Together, these insights highlight the importance of holistic approach that considers the learner as a person, not just their test score. Alright. Go to the next slide, which is about the recommendations that I found throughout the case study. First one, use engaging activities like music. I choose music as example because child A loved music, as is stated in my interview. So teachers should incorporate music into lessons regularly using songs that students enjoy to make learning fun and accessible. In my study case, I also mentioned that a specific activity regarding that involves song, which is sing and repeat. Activities like sing and repeat allow learners to practice rhythm and pronunciation in more comfortable way. Combining movement with language enforces memory and improves listening comprehension. Next, encourage participants in low pressure settings. This means that creating a safe space for learning encourage students like child A to take language risks without fear of making mistakes, because somehow these child are afraid of making mistake in the classroom because they are scared of being judged by their peers and also by their teachers. These strategies make language learning more interactive and suitable for bilingual settings like child A. And lastly, moving on to the last slide, which is conclusion. Bilingual learning comes with challenges. As we've seen, learning English as second language in bilingual setting presents unique strategies and struggles also. Motivation and support are key. With emotional and support and fun, engaging input, students are more likely to succeed. One size fits all approaches don't work. Teachers must adapt to each child's learning needs. Yeah. And lastly, fun focused strategies lead to progress because fun can enhance their motivation level to eager to learn more about the language itself. In child A's case, music-based tasks and scaffolded support and pronunciation focused activities and provide a clear path forward for his language development. This case study shows that when we understand a learner's background and needs, we can make meaningful progress in language development. So I think that's all from me. I think I learned a lot from this case study, and I also got to know what approach may be the best for them and that may make them comfortable to learn English in their own way, so that I could practice later when I'm going to practicum. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.